right ahead.
I got voluntold.
Okay. Got it all over there anyways.
You like? All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the special session of Metropolitan School District of North Posey Board of Education meeting for October 21st. We'll open the meeting by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item on the agenda is patrons' concern, and we will mark this accordingly that we do not have anybody signed up for patrons' concern. Next item is new business. Mr. Galvin.
So this evening, we're bringing forward, and we are excited to bring forward, the 2021-2023 Memorandum of Understanding with the North Posey Teachers Association. The posting of the tentative agreement, as well as the public hearing and public meeting required under the Indiana Code, have been met, allowing the school board to ratify the contract. And I know Mr. Wallace and Mr. Wilson are both here this evening, and as I think the last time that Mr. Wallace and I spoke, that we had about pretty well almost 100% approval by the Teachers Association of the contract. And so this evening, we're excited to bring forward this contract. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. But we feel really good about what we're doing, and we're very aggressive with the contract this year. So.
A lot of increases across the board, so that's good to see. All right, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2021 to 2023 MOU with the Teachers Association.
Second.
A second.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mr. Oakley. Any comments or questions?
I just want to say that this contract accomplishes some goals that this board has had as long as I've been on it. We have some really great teachers in this district, and we're once again incentivizing them to stay, which is nice to see, and also incentivizing them to further their education. So this is one of those meetings that's fun to be at.
That's a good thing.
Well, a lot of wins across the board, for sure.
I don't know that much about it, but I know I felt that we needed to do some stuff, and this goes much further than I thought that we'd even be able to begin to do.
Is there anything in this? I know we have some teachers that are on emergency license. Is there anything that specifically addresses that in here? Is that?
So there's nothing that really addresses that. We kind of, with COVID, the emergency license was kind of, it wasn't overlooked, but the state kind of backed off on their requirements and stuff. And so what we just recently did was send a letter out to those individuals who are on emergency license, saying that, we appreciate you taking this chance, taking this position. We're here to help you, but you need to start demonstrating to us that you are going to be working towards your degree or your licensing. And we kind of gave them a 3-year timeline to get that done. We also told them that there's a deadline of when you have to submit stuff on an annual basis to show that you're following that plan. And so, the plan actually had to be Amy by the end of this month too. So, we're kind of returning back to that since COVID's now hopefully over with or coming to its end. To kind of say, hey, we need to make sure that we've got good quality people, but we want to make sure we have licensed people in those positions.
We're in better shape this year than we have been.
We are. We're in much better shape this year. A lot of it is still probably, I'm trying to think of how many positions we still have with emergency license.
I'd say 10 to 12.
That's what I was going to say, about 10 to 12. Yeah.
I didn't realize there were that many.
Yeah. So, and some of those may be licensed teachers, but they're just outside their content areas. So, yeah. But that's some of the issues we're running into with current culture. And as I was sharing today, when I was principal at Fort Branch, 5-6 years ago, we'd have maybe 80 to 100 applicants for elementary positions, and now we're lucky if we're probably having 10 to 20.
It's
wow.
way down.
Yeah. And so unfortunately, it's becoming more of an issue of I hate to say steal people, but can we pull people from other districts, back to us? So, which sometimes costs us money to do that.
Do we have emergency teachers that aren't even licensed teachers in some instances?
We do.
Really?
So we do. I mean, they have to have is it a degree? They have to have a degree. And I can't remember if it was bachelor's or master's, but they have to have a degree. And in order for them to get or demonstrate that they can actually get a license.
Okay, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0.
So in addition to that, you have there a description of all the other employee groups within the district, administrators, the recommendation for that, and the insurance contribution across all of the employee groups. What has historically been done is we do the same thing for everybody. And so we did do that across the board for insurance. We're looking at a $2,000 salary increase for administrators, for classified staff, which are mainly your custodians, your nurses, as well as your instructional paraprofessionals, those kinds of people, $1 additional per hour. Food service staff, we're looking at a 60-cent increase per hour. Bus drivers, we are looking at a $7 per day increase. And that's a little bit higher, but what we did was we had a $500 attendance stipend that we were giving. And last year we had some conversation per semester. We had some conversation last year about that because we were concerned that with COVID, if people were sick, we didn't want to incentivize them trying to come to work to get that. And so we took that and kind of rolled that into their pay increase. The other thing that we were proposing as well is the extracurricular and field trip rate has been $10 per hour, which you can work at Wendy's and make more money for that. So we're proposing that increase to $25 per hour. And that was, we checked with like South Gibson, and that's kind of in line with what they're paying. We're also looking at increases for substitutes, a $10 increase per day for teachers, $1 per hour for custodians, 50 cents per hour for cafeteria, and $1 per hour for our nurses. And then you kind of see the overall impact there. The cost for insurance increase, I put that down there below that because that would be also split between education and operations fund. But when Amy and I were talking about it, it's hard for her to run an Excel spreadsheet and actually show how that's broken out and stuff. So, but anyway, that's kind of the impact financially. And that 402, actually those figures, that 402,979 also includes the teacher's contract too. So it's everything combined into that. But I'd like to let you guys kind of know what's the overall impact to the funds. So like I said, we feel like that this was, we don't need to be aggressive for all of our employee groups to make sure that we are staying competitive and we're getting quality people. So.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we accept increases as Mr. Galvin stated.
Second.
I'll second that.
So the motion by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Schmidt to approve the salary increases as presented by Mr. Galvin. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that very much. And as I shared with our teachers and staff this morning, we appreciate all that they do for our kids each and every day. So.
This goes into effect starting right immediately or?
Well,
Not that immediate.
Not tonight.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's not a Christmas
I have
thing.
60 days. to
Oh, it
get
is?
done.
Okay.
And it might take me every bit of that
Okay.
60 days.
The retro too, yes.
Okay.
In a year, but
That's what I meant, whether it started with this school year, started with Christmas. Or...
So Really quickly, one other on the back side, I didn't see that. We need a separate motion and a consideration for the increases for the insurance for those positions.
I'll make a motion that we approve the increases to the insurance contributions.
Second.
I'll second.
A motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mr. Oakley to approve the increases to the health insurance contributions for the administrative certified staff, bus drivers, and food service employees. Those will go for $500 increase on the single plans and $1,000 on the family plan. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
So to answer your question, Larry, teacher's contract, we have up to 60 days to begin those, and hourly employees, I mean, it's
I
mainly
used
just,
to do the same time.
yeah, we usually try to start everybody at the same
My only, I didn't know if it went into effect beginning of the year, starting now, or wait till Thanksgiving, or I wasn't sure.
It gets really dicey for these ladies. I mean, they do a
Oh,
phenomenal job. And the other thing that's always interesting is here in probably about 2 or 3 weeks, they also get the tag grant from the state, and that's thrown in on top of it too. And so I like these ladies. I don't want to get them upset with me. So.
But the contract actually starts in July.
Correct.
It's retroactive
That was
July
my
1st.
question. I didn't care when
Yeah.
that got done, or Amy could have as much time as she wanted.
I like that.
And I just wondered when it started in that.
Yeah, it's retroactive.
And that's more just for my own interest. Trying to know
Well,
what's
trust
going
me,
on.
everybody out there wants to know, when am I going to get that pay?
That was actually my first question when I came back from the meeting. Did you say what pay date I was getting that done? No.
He didn't throw you under the bus.
He didn't throw me under the bus.
Under promise on that one. All right.
That's all we have this evening, Mr. President.
Does anybody else have anything for the
It's
good of the
possible
cause?
we'd like to make a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did as a teacher association, would like to basically fill you guys in on the process and how everything went, because, historically, if we go back to when we were much younger, there was, I don't want to say conflict between the teacher association and administration. And that is not the case anymore. This was probably the most amicable consideration of this I've ever been part of a negotiation. Granted, this is my first one as president of the teacher association, so this was definitely a nice way to start it. But there is a free flow of communication, and it's very positive. And so a lot of work went on. Brian did a lot of spreadsheets and he texted me at 1 o'clock in the morning and that kind of stuff.
It wasn't that late.
We had a lot of help from ISTA, Mark Lichtenberg, who was our ISTA rep. Mr. Galvin employed a gentleman, John Mays, and we would have never got this done without them because of what's called Herb, and I think some of you guys, the language and compliance, because when you read stuff like, that doesn't make sense. Well, it's lawyer speak to get through all that stuff. And so we had a lot of help, but we had a very, very positive time frame in what we did this. And, especially today, and this is outside of the scope of the contract. I've had 4 superintendents now. And the conversation, they even told Mr. Galvin this morning, for the first time ever, since I've been here, and this is John Wood and Ernie Rapp and Todd, we felt like, or I even talked to Debbie and some of the ones that have been here just as long as I have, that we have someone who communicates effectively and gives us purpose, gives us mission, and helps us in that morale situation, because pre this contract, morale was really low because you saw these teachers leaving. So now, yes, thankfully we have this beautiful contract that we can look forward to getting our teachers, but I feel like also we have much better communication in this side of it as well. So I feel like we really have a good footing. So congratulate you guys on the hires so far, because we definitely.
He said so far.
So far, yes.
You gotta throw it in there.
You gotta throw that in.
Like he said, the tension in the room, because I've been on like 7 contracts. In this room, when that contract, I didn't feel like someone's trying to hide something. It just felt like, okay, how do we want to handle it? John and Mark, they worked great together. I mean, and you with them, and everyone, it was amazing. They're like, okay, how do we get this done? How do we get this passed by Herb? That's that big word that we all hate to hear.
and everyone just worked together, what's the best for the teachers, and it was awesome. I mean, it's like, I think my 7th contract I've been a part of, and we did this complex contract in a day. EVSC is still working on trying to get everything done. We just came together, and there's no way, if we both wouldn't have been working on this, there's no way we would have got this done the way we did. It was a great contract. So thank you guys for your hard work and everything too.
Well,
And thank you for
I
passing.
appreciate you guys saying that, because I think a lot of people don't understand how difficult herb is to navigate. Sometimes, what you guys want, what we want can be the same thing, but it may not fit in compliance with herb, and we can't, we have to work through that. And that's a difficult process.
Well, not only that, I feel like, there's that philosophy, like get every single penny you can. We didn't have that. We realized this, we need to be able to afford this down the line, because my first year teaching North Posey, I'm sitting at the mailbox the last couple of days, and they're going, why is there pink papers? And we made sure, so there was a lot of motion on both sides to make sure we can afford this, this can recur.
And we can afford it, because we know as the NEA, there's a lot more than just teachers that work here at this corporation.
Right.
It takes more than just teachers to run North Posey. There's custodians, there's IAs, there's administration. Everyone deserves their fair share in getting part of this money that's out there right now. So it just wasn't, there was an ample amount of money in this contract that the state did give us. It was the way everyone worked together. It was a great contract. It was very fun. Like we told Jenna and Brad, you came in on a good contract to work on it.
That's great.
So,
Thank you guys. Appreciate it very much.
Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? I think we ought to, we'll probably do it at our next board meeting, but we had a really good weekend over the weekend for North Posey. We had lots of successes. I know our volleyball team won sectional first time in 31
years.
Max Renshaw is off to the state finals in boys tennis. Best of luck to him tomorrow. Our spell bowl won last night. The junior high spell bowl won last night against Mount Vernon, right?
in Helford Park.
In Helford Park. So great night for them.
Cross country.
Cross country, we had 2 runners go to Sima State.
Cade and Olivia Eshe.
Beaker and Olivia Eshe. Olivia finished 7th in regionals, is that right?
14th, wasn't it?
No, Cade was
Cade was
14th,
14th.
Olivia was 7th.
Yeah.
And they're only freshmen and sophomores, so that's a good thing for
Wow.
years to come.
It's been a couple weeks ago, but we won the junior high volleyball.
Yeah, the junior high PAC tournament as well.
Defeated. And the football team clinched the
In the
football
small,
championship.
yeah, good points. So it's been a great 7-8 days of success stories. So good, kudos to everybody involved there. And hopefully they keep moving on and we get to see a few of them here with some hardware. So anything else? All right, well, our next board meeting will be Tuesday, November the 9th. We'll be back here at the central office, regular time at 6:30 and executive session at 5:30 if needed. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second,
I'll second that.
a motion by Mr. Colley, seconded by Mr. Schmidt to adjourn. We are so adjourned. Thank you.
I'm gonna have